Good Friday evening. Today is an ABC 17 Storm Track weather alert day for storms that we're tracking for tonight into early tomorrow morning. A quick rundown here. These storms that we're tracking are likely going to be highly variable when it comes to timing and placement tonight. I want you to keep that in mind when we're looking at our future track and you're planning out your overnight hours. What does develop tonight will likely become severe. We've got a pretty good probability of at least a couple of strong to severe storms tonight. And then this activity is largely going to be focused around the potential for wind and hail during the overnight hours. We do have a slim tornado risk. It's a low risk for a tornado. We are primarily concerned with wind and hail, but I'll show you where we've got that greatest concern for tornadoes. We've been watching storms in parts of Nebraska, southeast Nebraska, and northeastern Kansas. This activity now dying as it works its way towards us here about 5:30. We're still watching some of this activity, though. Should it develop and become stronger, this is going to be our best chance for a tornado, but really it is still a low risk, about a 2%, the lowest here on our Storm Prediction Center's scale. But communities in the highlighted area from Marshall to Paris, Macon, and Brunswick, all communities that could be impacted by that. But again, that's going to be pretty short-lived this evening. And a little bit of good news, if anything, we're not seeing good signs from our guidance that that's actually going to develop. So we'll be keeping an eye on it still. As I mentioned, this is highly variable. Models have not been doing well handling this activity, but there is some consensus now that we're going to have to wait until our low-level jet, or some of the low-level winds start to gain strength overnight tonight for some of these storms to kind of kick up and develop. And you'll see that here north of I-70 largely heading into the overnight hours. I think this is our best chance for some strong storms. But back to that highly variable placement and timing, if you're in Columbia or Jefferson City, you should count on at least a chance for some strong storms this evening with that hail and wind potential. So again, keep that in mind. If you're parking in the garage tonight, it's probably a good idea area-wide. Guidance also showing we may see some storms develop to the south. Again, some of those stronger low-level winds, even away from the cold front, may kick up some of those thunderstorms. And so we'll be tracking the potential for that into early Saturday morning. This is 5 a.m. This is about 8 a.m. And this activity is still lingering on future track. We will eventually see clearing early Saturday, but now recent guidance has showed that's just lingering a little bit longer. So that's something we'll need to watch for. I do think the severe threat should wane in early Saturday morning. We are watching some high pressure move in Saturday night. On the backside of that, it's right back to rain chances. We're watching some activity here to the south and to the north. This system overall, though, depending on where it sets up, could bring us potential for some strong storms Sunday night. We could see some strong storms again along this warm front and just south of it, out ahead of the cold front that moves on in. And again, there's some variability on where exactly that will track. This is largely on this run, particularly south of mid-Missouri. And that's been a trend we've been seeing a lot lately. This has been shifting south run by run on some of the guidance we've been looking at. And so the concern is that this may end up south towards Springfield. And in that case, we wouldn't need an ABC 17 Storm Track Weather Alert Day. So stay tuned for Sunday. Potential for strong storms is certainly there. We just need more information. As we get closer, we'll get more details on that. Tonight, storm chances again really growing overnight. This is a look at that on a timeline and starts to dry up as we head into your Saturday. There's a look at Sunday. Some of those potential concern areas for some strong storms. So at least keep Sunday in mind. If you're planning out your weekend, understand that at least we're going to see rain and maybe some thunder with some of those storms potentially being strong to severe. Looking at early next week, drier conditions and cooler conditions return with high temperatures near 80 on Monday and in the low to mid 80s Tuesday into Wednesday.